Alright, when you have a vehicle that is broken down or needs to be moved, calling up your buddy and asking him to use the brand new contraption he found on Marketplace is not a good idea, and here is exactly what happens, and here is exactly why, and I see this time and time again. People who buy something and don't really know how to use it or what it's supposed to be used on or how to apply it, they just, since they bought it, now they think they're an expert. So this Ford Explorer is pulling this other vehicle behind it on some sort of tow bar-like contraption, and he's trying to make that turn there, waiting for traffic to go. And as he's making this turn, it ends up ripping off the passenger side of that vehicle and jamming into the fender and wheel well and headlight area of the driver's side. And in the genius that he is, he decides to back up into it and smash it farther into that corner of the vehicle. I'm sure he's causing a little more damage, and now he's got it jammed in there pretty good. So he's created a traffic jam, he's jammed up his contraption in that corner of the vehicle, and he's damaged that vehicle even more than it already is. Now, I don't know if this bumper was removed just to apply the tow bar contraption, or if it was removed for the reason that it needed to be towed, if it got some sort of accident. That was before the scope of this video. They're trying to remove it, but it's pretty well jammed in there, and they're having a little bit of difficulty getting that out of where it's stuck at. But eventually, with enough prying and trying and wiggling, they do get it. So Explorer guy parks his vehicle on a side street, and this guy unhooks it from the front of this vehicle and tosses it in the back seat there, and all of the rest of the traffic has to jump over the curb and the sidewalk and go around them. In all of their infinite wisdom, they decide to not push it on the side street where it would be out of traffic and safe. They decide to continue pushing it down the main road where there is no shoulder, and they eventually push it and just put it on the beginning of this turn lane here, just off to the side. Now notice it's about 8:37 in the morning, so they get it parked, and they're walking back to what I assume is the Explorer to maybe go get that, and not even 15 minutes later, boom. They left it in a turn lane in a live lane of traffic, and a vehicle ended up running into it. So now the front end's messed up, the back end's messed up, it's already not running, and now their day just went from bad to worse. Now notice it's 9:44 before the police finally show up, so it's almost an hour later, about 55 minutes later, that a police officer finally shows up to take an accident report and exchange insurance info and do all that. So they had not only is the vehicle not running, they tried to tow it themselves, save a few dollars, and messed up the front end even more. About 15 minutes after messing up the front end, now the back end's messed up, and they had to wait an hour for a police officer to finally show up to file a report and to exchange the insurance info and do all that good stuff. At least it remained civil in this situation. Nobody started fighting each other, or, having all those issues. And then a little bit after that, this is a Dukes wrecker that ended up showing up, and he is going to be loading that black vehicle that had the tow bar issue. So while he's loading up, the police decide to block off the turn lane, obviously, but also the driving lane there. So for about 10 minutes, all of traffic was just stopped for everybody going that direction. And I've sped this up roughly 600%, so we can see this wrecker getting loaded up. Sometimes it can be a little difficult with the manual alarms when you're right next to a curb there, but he does a good job. He's in and out of there pretty quick. Now that Duke's truck is going to be delivering it to wherever it's got to get delivered to. I'm not sure if it's going to a shop. I don't know if it's going to impound. I don't know if it's going to back to the guy's house. Don't know. And then a flatbed comes to load that white car, which presumably has some front end damage from smashing into that other vehicle right in that corner there. Probably broke a tie rod or something like that. And that gets loaded up in about 5 minutes and it's out of there. And the police immediately follow that, and it's back to business as usual. Now the street's clear, traffic is flowing, and you'd never even know anything happened. And I'm sure tomorrow and the next day and the next day, there will be more and more fender benders and crashes right here because there always is. And you can check out my channel for more of them.